provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m.
to 8 p.m.
Mondays to Fridays and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their locations. Cross Street, Roseau, Picard, Portsmouth, Marigot, or Grand Bay. Lafayette House Medical Laboratory. My choice, your choice, our choice.
This is your chance to make 2025 unforgettable. The Super 6 jackpot has climbed to almost $1 million. Grab your ticket and start dreaming big.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digicel TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, a former Justice of Appeal of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court remembers the late Evelina Baptist as fair and fearless in carrying out her duties. In the news from the region, St. Kitts and Nevis CBI program records a 169% increase in applications. Internationally, Sweden's Prime Minister says the school campus attack is the country's worst mass shooting, as around 10 people are killed. The details of these stories and more coming up next.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digicel TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
DBS News.
And welcome back. A former Justice of Appeal of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court and acting High Court judge in St. Vincent remembers the late Evelina Baptist as fair and fearless in carrying out her duties. Gretel Tom made the remarks during a special sitting of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court in memory of former Director of Public Prosecutions Evelina Baptist, who will be laid to rest on Wednesday.
Eva was a very hard-working person. She was very organized. I recall when James was introduced into the court system, Eva ensured that the High Court Registry in Dominica was one of the most efficient registries in the region. Eva ensured that the staff were all trained in the use of James, including the bailiffs. As a director of public prosecutions, Eva understood her role as a minister of justice and her duty to the court. She was always prepared and ready to present her cases. She was fair and fearless. Her integrity was beyond reproach. I've had the opportunity of participating with Evo at several conferences. Evo always represented Dominica's interests succinctly and with clarity. Evo made friends, and Evo was always very good at maintaining friendships. Evo's warmth, kindness, compassion, her friendship will be cherished by all those who knew her. And Eva's memory will live on in all of us who have experienced her love. It is tempting to say Eva has gone too soon. But when I looked at Eva's bio and the wide variety of activities that Eva participated in, I'm satisfied that Eva lived a full life, the Dominica life.
Former Justice of Appeal of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, Gretel Tom. Meantime, Her Ladyship Justice Shemaine Pemberton of the Trinidad Court of Appeal says the late Evelina Baptist served the court with distinction.
Eva was innovative, introducing color codes for filings. She was adventurous, Nothing stopped that mind from working out solutions to issues that others thought were insurmountable. Eva had grand plans for increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of her registry. She whipped everyone into shape, and the thing is, you did not even feel you were being whipped at all. It seemed so sensible, logical, but pleasant. Eva was the quintessential officer in charge, dependable, honest, kind, compassionate, empathetic, motherly, sisterly, a shoulder to lean on, and an ear to speak to, but firm and no nonsense, and many of you will support me on that. When I served in Dominica, that would be from 2000 until 2003, I must add that because of EVO, it became one of my treasured jurisdictions. EVO ensured that I had a comfortable, happy, safe, yet productive time. She chose my team with insight. My files were always in order at all sittings, orders done up and executed. And for any judicial officer, you know what a boon that is. We worked hard, and there is no pretense in my saying that this registry ranked as one of the best run registries in the region.
And that was Her Ladyship Justice Charmaine Pemberton of the Trinidad Court of Appeal. Former resident High Court Judge Victoria Charles Clark knew the late Evelina Baptist.
My next encounter with Ms. Baptist was when I became judge of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court in September 2016 and was assigned to the Commonwealth of Dominica. She warmly welcomed me upon my arrival. Although we shared a prior friendship, she was very professional in her approach and appearances before me. Our prior friendship never created a conflict. We did have differences of opinion as we both sought to carry out our respective roles and responsibilities of our offices. I particularly remember the Herculean efforts she made after the devastation caused by Hurricane Maria, which demolished the court premises and her own office. Her efforts, along with a team, to reconstruct files and get cases ready for trial again under the most difficult conditions were nothing but commendable. Despite the many challenges she faced, she never gave up in the face of adversity. She was always willing to embrace changes that would improve the administration of justice. She will be remembered for her tenacity, her commitment, and dedication to public service, her industry, and leadership in the various positions she held.
Former resident High Court Judge in Dominica, Justice Victoria Charles Clark. Former Justice of Appeal of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court and acting High Court Judge in Dominica, Justice Davidson Baptist, is the brother of the late Evelina Baptist.
And she performed her duties, her role, and her functions commendably. Evo was well liked, I must say. She was very friendly and took her work quite seriously in all spheres. As children, we read. Evo was an avid reader. She liked music. She loved music. She was very artistic. She painted. Evo's interest was not limited to the law. She became a calypso judge, was involved in other kindred carnival activities. In becoming a calypso judge, she seemed to have been following the tradition of her father, who had judged calypso for probably 40 years before he retired. Evo was always a very focused individual, always focused on her development and work. She was the ultimate family person. She loved her family.
And that was a former Justice of Appeal of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court and acting High Court judge in Dominica, Davidson Baptist. Miss Baptist served the court extensively as State Attorney, Registrar of the High Court, Acting Chief Registrar, Magistrate, Chief Magistrate, and Director of Public Prosecutions. This morning's special sitting of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court was conducted by Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, Justice Mario Mitchell. The Dominica Cancer Society says the high number of young individuals being diagnosed with cancer in Dominica is a cause for concern. President of the Dominica Cancer Society, Yvonne Alexander, is also revealing that in many instances, these individuals are being diagnosed with an advanced stage of cancer. Alexander was a guest on DBS's Talking Point program this morning as Dominica is today joining in the observance of World Cancer Day under the theme United by Unique.
We are seeing, and because we receive requests for financial assistance, we are seeing many more young individuals being diagnosed. So when I first became involved with the Dominica Cancer Society, many of us who were diagnosed were probably in our 50s, 60s and older. Now we are seeing 20-something-year-olds being diagnosed with breast cancer or other cancers, 30-something, 40-something. These individuals are young. This would not be the demographics that we would be saying to get screened for breast cancer. In your 20s and 30s, you're not thinking breast cancer, but this is what we are now seeing. So this is becoming a challenge because for many of us, it's how do you deal with these young people? My personal cancer story is completely different from someone who is in their 20s or 30s, completely different. And among the concerns and the major concerns is even while we are seeing the younger age groups, we are also seeing some of these younger age groups being diagnosed with advanced stages of cancer.
President of the Dominica Cancer Society, Yvonne Alexander. And close to $1 million has been dispersed to assist business owners in becoming fully digital. The funding was awarded under the Digital Innovation Grants Program. Project Manager for the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project, Dr. Jermaine Jean-Pierre, says 79 individuals benefited from the grant.
So last year, under the Digital Innovation Grant Program, we gave or distributed $927,929.55 EC to 79 applicants. So as a result of this, 79 individuals were able to digitize their business processes, purchase digital equipment, and basically move their manual business to a digital business. And we have been monitoring, and so far, they are pretty much using the funds to get the required equipment and support that they need in their digitization process.
Project Manager for the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project, Dr. Jermaine Jean-Pierre. Minister for Housing, Melissa Poppon-Skerritt, says the government has made strides in the development of the Future Housing Program. The program, which was launched in July 2022, will see the government providing homes at affordable rates to people under the age of 45 who are employed in either the public and private sectors.
Yes, we've made some strides with that, the Future Housing. In fact, we have allocated maybe over 100 subsidized lots to working professionals for those who want to build on their own. In terms of the Future Housing Program, we have completed the subdivision plan at Warner. We have submitted it to Planning Division, and we have finalized the design options for the modern resilient homes, and we have traced the road as well. And what we plan to do is invite the selected beneficiaries to be able to come and visit the site and to be able to look at the location and the lots and pick the area that they're interested in. So we are making strides with that. A project delayed is not denied. It will come. It must come.
And that was Minister for Housing, Melissa Poppon-Skerritt. Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore, is calling on Dominicans to be mindful of what is being said on social media regarding a plane crash that claimed the lives of 4 French nationals. At present, 2 of the 4 bodies have been recovered after the small aircraft, which was en route from Douglas Charles Airport to Martinique, went down in the mountains near the village of La Plaine. Blackmore says the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority has been tasked with the investigating of the plane crash.
I believe, whereas social media platforms are things that are good for us, but the manner in which we use it, we have to be very mindful what we use to inform the public and to shape public discourse or public sentiment, because that can impact on people's lives. People who are mourning want answers. So that is why we have not disclosed the names of the passengers who have gone to the great beyond. The exercise now is to give the public an appreciation of the work we have done as a country, working in partnership with the French, to firstly attempt to rescue. And when that exercise, insofar as rescue is concerned, was no more, we are still in the process of recovery. And as we're discussing ways, as we're reconsidering our solutions, that we have gotten the confirmation that the required assets for this very difficult intervention have been found, and the intention is to go back to the site with the express view of recovering the remains, and the rest of the investigation in terms of the circumstances related to the crash lies within the level of competence of ECA, who of course deals with civil aviation regulation for the OCS member states. And they have the expertise to go into the dynamics as to what may have caused that issue.
And that was Minister for National Security, Reverend Blackmore. In tonight's evening feature, we spotlight one of Dominica's rising tattoo artists, Shem, also known as Rema, the founder and owner of Black Blood Tattoo Studios. Rema's journey into the tattoo industry was inspired by the encouragement of those who recognize his artistic potential, particularly his impressive drawing skills. Through dedication and passion, he has raised the bar in the tattoo artistry on Island, as his studio has become a hub for unique, intricate tattoo designs, positioning Rema as one of the leading figures in the local tattoo scene. Rema, the founder of and owner of Black Blood Studios, Inc., is our feature on tonight's segment.
Okay, well, my name is Shem, but most of my friends and them know me as Rema. There's a long-term old school fellas. Yeah, my inspiration behind my business name is does that, what say that? Well, the ink is black and it mixing up to the blood, so I just name it Black Blood. Yeah, although it have different ink, but that was just the inspiration behind it. I've been in that business since 2004. I was really tattooing much for 2004, but I already started 2004. How I come up started tattooing, well, it had a guy that saw me drawing, so he just checking like, well, yeah, I feel you can tattoo, you know, brother. So I said, me, I can't tattoo, I don't think so, though. But I don't know how to handle this skin. The man tell me, don't worry, man, just try it on my skin. And then I just go through that. I try it on the man's skin, I do what he tell me do, a hat for him with fire in it. And I did that first out there, I said, oh no, wow, I think I can do it too. And I just started from there, man. One of the challenges I face in tattooing is, I would say that different skin. There are people with different tones and different texture of skin, so you have to know how to work for that. Yeah, and I advise people that want to start tattooing, don't just jump into the thing and think like you can do it. Try on a thick skin first, because you have to learn to control your hand and the depth of the needle. It's not just about just digging the skin and thinking it's going to come out dark. It's not nothing like that. The depth is 1.5 millimeter. Well, you can access my work on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. The name is Shem Rema Etienne. That's the name for all of them. Shem Rema Etienne. Either TikTok, either Facebook, or either Instagram.
And that was Shem Rema Etienne, the founder and owner of Black Blood Tattoo Studios, taking us to the end of this evening's featured segment and National Focus. Up next is news from the region and international.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digicel TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
DBS News.
And now news from the region. St. Kitts and Nevis has reported a surge in citizenship by investment or CBI applications with a 169% increase during the final quarter of 2024. Reports indicate that his growth follows the Dr. Terence Drew-led government's reform initiatives and the transition of the Citizenship by Investment Unit from a government entity to a statutory body in the late 2024s. It is also said that the increase in applications indicates renewed investor confidence in the program, which had previously suffered from mismanagement under the former administration. Prime Minister Drew stated that his government remains steadfast in the vision to revolutionize the CBI industry whilst driving sustainable development and economic prosperities. Key reforms under Prime Minister Drew's leadership includes the passing of Citizenship by Investments Act, establishing the continuing international due diligence unit for vetting CBI citizens abroad, and introducing legislation criminalizing citizenship and underselling. Internationally, police said around 10 people were killed at a school on Tuesday in what has been described as the worst mass shooting in Sweden's history. Police believe the perpetrator is amongst the dead and that he acted alone, but the motive is not yet clear. Sweden's Prime Minister described the attack as brutal, deadly, violent, and against all complete innocent people, marking the worst mass shooting in Sweden's history. The shooting occurred at a school for adult education, which is located on a campus where other schools, including those for children, are based. Sweden's Justice Minister Gunnar Strömmer said the motive remains unclear, but that police do not think there will be any more attacks related to the shooting. This brings us to the end of this evening's news. Up next is sports.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
First off in sports, former Windward Islands Volcanoes assistant coach Dominica's Phoenix Thomas is hoping the new Cricket West Indies scouting system will help address some of the challenges affecting emerging talent in the region. Thomas has been appointed a scout in the regional program to work alongside senior talent managers and territorial talent identifiers to comprehensively assess emerging cricketing prospects. The scouting system is part of Cricket West Indies' revamped process for selection to the West Indies teams.
As you say, it's a new role. It's a new initiative by the board where, as you may know, there are no longer selectors per se, as we used to have in the past. What I think it is, it's something to embrace potential persons that the board would have recognized can identify the talent that the regional team needs. And it's not only for the men, it goes through to the women as well, that potential people that they've recognized. Obviously somebody would have recommended me as a potential talent ID, as they call it. So the role is basically one where you follow the first class championships, especially the games that are being played in your area, where you could go person to person and see what is going on and analyze the conditions, the guys' performances and how the guys did based on in situations. Because as you know, cricket entails a lot of things where that determines people's performances. So these things would be under our watch where we pay attention to them and we report to a senior talent ID person that would then report to the coach as to what we've seen and what we've recommended.
And that was CWI scout Phoenix Thomas. Organizers of the inaugural DA Next Level Sports Corporate Futsal Tournament are rating the event a major success. The competition ended on the weekend with D-Treads Tires Inc. beating Petro Caribe in the finals. One of the tournament organizers, Jerry Williams, says the competition met its objectives and says that they were encouraged by the excitement the competition generated.
We are thrilled with the energy and enthusiasm that all the teams, all the companies brought to this inaugural event. The passion, the competitiveness, the display on the court, the fans' engagement, the sponsors, the referees, the medics, everybody buy into what we basically brought to them. And, you know, it was a success in our eyes. There are things that we need to work on, but definitely being the first, it was really a success. We want to take the opportunity to congratulate Detroit Tires for their incredible performance and all the team for making this tournament a resounding success. I just want to say the basis of organizing this, as we know, the beginning of each year, companies look to do conferences, workshop, motivational sessions to get their workers, their brand together. And we felt that doing a corporate futsal tournament would help in that. Put the workers in a different environment. A young man you may see you're working with may be very quiet, but then, you know, being in that environment, you see his skill set, you see his excitement, you see his passion. And so it assists in helping co-workers to build that bond, to build that friendship.
And that was Jerry Williams, DA Next Level Sports Management. One of the hosts of the Caribbean Cricket podcast, The Cricket Show, Machel St. Patrick Hewitt, feels that Kavem Hodge could be under pressure to keep his position on the West Indies Test team under the reins of the new coach Darren Sammy. His comments following Hodge's disappointing series in Pakistan. Hodge, like all of the batsmen, struggled in the Pakistan series, but St. Patrick Hewitt feels that if Hodge doesn't have a good regional 4-day tournament, he could be under pressure, with it being rumoured that the coach Sammy could be looking to bring in some of the white ball specialists to the team.
So Kavem Hodge, 40 runs in 4 innings, highest score of 21. I think that 21 came in the first innings of the second test. Kavem Hodge will be disappointed. He should be rightly disappointed with his output in the test match. Let me just see his scores again. So he scored 4 and duck in the first test and then 21 and 15 in the second test. Kavem will be disappointed with his output. And I think he'll go in. Well, again, we don't know. I was about to say, he'll go into the Australia tests under a bit of pressure. But for all we know, Sammy's not picking him. Kavem's spot in the team is at risk. When I think the players have arrived back in the Caribbean now, so when Kavem goes back to play for the Windward Islands in the remainder of the West Indies Championship, I need to see him score some runs, because I think there's an argument to say the 50 versus Bangladesh in the Test series notwithstanding, there's an argument to say his spot's under pressure. Struggled at home versus South Africa, got 150 in 4 innings at home versus Bangladesh, and then high score of 21 in Pakistan across 4 innings. He's going to be under pressure.
One of the hosts of the Caribbean Cricket podcast, The Cricket Show, Machel St. Patrick Hewitt. Dominica's Stephen Pascal has been elevated to the position of vice captain of the Windward Islands Volcanoes team for the next match against Trinidad, which starts in St. Vincent on Wednesday. Pascal replaces Kenneth Demba, who is not in the Volcanoes squad for Wednesday's day-night match. Demba had recorded his maiden 5-wicket haul in the last match against Jamaica, but will miss Wednesday's match along with Ryan John due to personal reasons. Meantime, the Volcanoes have strengthened the batting lineup with the addition of West Indies batsman Kavem Hodge. Hodge and off-spinner Lee John from St. Lucia are the 2 changes to the team. West Indies batsman Alec Athanaze is expected to be available for the next match against the CCC. The Volcanoes team, which will be led by Sunil Ambrose, reads Stephen Pascal, vice-captain, GM Benjamin, Ken Roy Corti, Daryl Cyrus, Shadrach Descarte, Jonelle Eugene, Kamal Hamilton, Kavim Hodge, Lee John, Darius Martin, Jeremy Solanzo, and Gillan Tyson. Meantime, Pascal says he's humbled to be elevated to the leadership position on the team. He says the team is looking to make amends following last weekend's defeat.
I feel that obviously being on the losing side, we are looking to bounce back. I feel that in itself is already an advantage for us. We should be hungrier, to get back on winning terms, or get on winning terms this season, I should say. So, yeah, but obviously with the quick turnaround, it's difficult. It's difficult to work on your mistakes and iron them out in such a short space of time. But I feel that this is what we do. We are professionals, and we just have to be professional in that regard.
Trinidad and Tobago Red Force coming off a victory, and you're now playing them in a day-night encounter. How challenging is that day-night match going to be in terms of what you expect?
Well, to be honest, it's my first day-night match ever, so obviously that in itself is already a challenge. I spoke to Brad. He said that it was his first day-night 4-day game as well. So I feel like those conditions, we have to get used to it quickly. We have to pick up information quickly. Obviously, this training session is during the time of when we will be playing, so that in itself is a new experience. Just batting in the nets, facing the pink ball, it's a new experience for me, and I was just trying to pick up as much information as possible.
Windward Islands Volcanoes vice-captain Stephen Pascal. Into some females cricket news, the head coach of the national women's cricket team, Sam Kernan, feels that Dominica can do something special at the upcoming Windward Islands women's cricket tournament. The tournament is set to get underway in Dominica this weekend. Kernan feels that he has an exciting group of ladies.
I am quietly confident that this year we will do a lot better, as we have really put in the hard work, the hard effort. We started training in January. We've done 2 sessions in Roseau and 1 in Portsmouth. The sessions in Roseau, which I think were quite good, we really concentrated on our fielding and catching, and then we would do the bowling as well. So I'm really looking forward for the girls to hit their lines and execute the skills that they have learned. I'm really also excited that for the first time that Dominica has been playing the game, we have a bit of trouble in selecting a team. The girls have really grown from last year, and I'm really excited that this time we can actually say we can almost put our hand on the trophy. And that is my dream, and that is my wish, because I believe the girls are good enough now to bring home the trophy to Dominica. It has not been easy. We've really worked hard over the years. Previously, I would concentrate a lot on our batting. I believe the batting is now comfortable enough for us to put a good score on the sheets. But what I'm really excited about is our fielding. Our fielding has really improved over the last 6 weeks. We really put in the effort, and I believe that the girls will deliver this year. So I'm encouraging all Dominicans to come out and support the girls. They've really grown from last year. The under-19 ones as well has really shown up, and I believe this time we can do something a little bit special.
Head coach of the national women's cricket team, Sam Kernan, taking us to the end of this evening's News and Sports. A special thanks to the DBS News and Sports team and Nick personnel, DJ Halo Boy.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
evening and welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 4th day of February 2025. We begin with the evening edition of the DBS Radio Deaf announcements on the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. We announce the death of Ignace Avondale Daytouche, aged 71, of Dubic Grand Bay, who resided at Scott's Head. He died on Monday, the 30th of December 2024 at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. He was the husband of Evelina Daytouche. He was the father of Deborah, Edwin, Fernie, Gavin, and Dion Daytouche. He will also be remembered by his grandchildren, Steffi, Stefan, and Stephen,